What's up, everybody? It is New Year's Eve, and I want to do a final update video on the 49 for this year. Hopefully I'll get it uploaded tonight whenever I get back home. Well, we are going to go out with a bang for the end of the year tonight with some really great news in my world. I mean, most of you are probably not going to think that much of this little milestone, but it's one that has kind of plagued me for a long time with this car since early on in the project. Now, when I first decided I was going to go and put the 4200 in the car, I had actually purchased a aftermarket wiring harness because the wires in here were cloth wire and in bad shape, and I spent about $300 on it. And I got this harness on and started looking at it. I'm like, man, this is like, I want to have air ride. I need to be able to remotely control it. I don't want to run wires back here for that, and I want to have this, I want to have that. Nothing was really in the harness. It was very basic. And I thought there's got to be a better way. And that's when I came up with the idea of, why can't we just pull the entire BCM over and let that, use the wires from the Trailblazer? I would say save money, but I still have that other harness, all these years later. I need to sell it. But just want to show you, we're going to open up the door. And for the first time, the door controls the dome light. For the first time in a long time. For the first time since I put this entire setup in the car, I have not had that tied in because I did not have the necessary modules in place. But on the last video or so is when we ran these new wires up front with the plugs. One of them over there, and the other one is right here. But as you can see now, we've got the original power door, power window switch that you would have on the Trailblazer driver door right here. You control your windows and everything. This is the bottom side of that switch, minus the switches that were on the top side. And what we're going to be doing, as I probably mentioned before, but the power door lock buttons are not going to be used on this. This is going to be hidden up in the dash. I was hoping to put it right here, but it won't fit. And so I thought, well, I'll just direct solder the wires. And I started working on taking it apart. That's when I discovered that on the driver's side, it's not just a box with a plug. It actually has an entire circuit board in here with relays. I think they have to do with the power windows, but why are they not on the other side? I don't know. And there's no wires running to the other side that are going to do anything as far as sending voltage to the window motors. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but there are several relays in here. Anyway, traced out all the wires, got the two that run the power door lock motor. Now we have 3 more wires off of this one because of the built-in switch, and those will be hooked up. That's what these other 3 wires are going to be for here. But there's no need to hook them up right now because I'm not installing this immediately. I'm just testing, make sure that the basic functionality is here. So we have the dome light switch. We are going to close the door for a second here. Got the keys, so let me close. But of course the light is not going to go out immediately because that's what modern cars do. Now if we were to put this in and go ahead and turn the key on, then it would rapidly shut down. Otherwise, turn that noisemaker off. Otherwise, then we turn the key off and then it comes back on, which it'll come on and stay on for a minute. You can also defeat the dome light right here as well if you don't want it to come on. So all the factory functionality is there. But let's just say, okay, we got here, and we're gonna get out of the car and go in the store. So we'll open it up. Dome light's gonna stay on for about 20 or so seconds. But we're gonna get out, so we're gonna lock it. We're out of the car. We're gonna hit the lock button. And that light will go out here in just a second. Security light now comes on, and it'll stay on for, I think it's 20 or 30 seconds. And what's going to happen is, as soon as the light goes out, the security system will be armed. Now let's just say that I did a bad install on this lock, and it did not actually lock the door, and somebody walked by and noticed the door is unlocked. And you see the light went out there, and they walk by the car and look inside, and they see, my high dollar Harbor Freight pliers, and they decide they want them, and they open the car up. we get the full security, beep beep and all that. So second thing is, I'll close this again for a second. I'm going to show you that lock button, unlock button. So all that's working. Now, once we hook these other wires up, then if we have the passenger side lock right here, if we lock this one, it's going to lock that one, and vice versa from either side. So pretty dang happy with that. Now, I'm not sure when I'm going to install the locks and the doors, but I ran into a problem. I found out these are the original 1949 door handles. They do not remove with the same clip tool that these aftermarket window cranks do. So I found the right tool. It looks like a long set of pliers. And I got that ordered. Should be here sometime in the next several days. Once I get these off, then I can take the panel off. I actually need to tighten up that vent window on that side. And you could argue I might need to replace some of the rubber and things too, but that's another year. But I'll start looking at what it's going to take to get the power door lock module in here and potentially install them pretty rapidly after. I built this harness today, which basically is just cutting all the tape off the original Trailblazer door handle or door harness. This would normally be inside the door. All this would be inside the door, but everything's going to be outside the door except for the 5 wires that come back to this lock. So I've got to do the same thing for that side. I've got to take the other indoor harness apart that I've got, prune it down to the correct wires, shorten the distance between that plug and this module, mount the module up inside there as well, tie it to that door switch over there for the dome light. And then there's one other wire hanging down there, that pink wire. That little pink wire right there goes to the amp control module. It's a aftermarket module that you can get on Amazon that will control your radio off of the BCN. So that means that if you turn the car off, the radio stays on until you open the door up, and then it goes off. That kind of cool stuff. And then once those things are done, we'll be focusing back on the interior for a bit. I have this in just to demonstrate the security module, but it's not normally in here. I've got to get there's 2 boxes here. Those 2 boxes are to control this super cool gauge that I've got. And annoying compressor. It's so much louder when I moved it up onto that deck. I don't know why. But anyway, that nice gauge right there, it has some cool functionality, but it is, all this external stuff is annoying because I don't have a lot of room, and it looks like it would be very sensitive to any kind of water leaks from, maybe a leaky windshield seal. So I have to be very careful with it. But all that's got to be somehow mounted up in the dash, and man, we'll be getting close then to making this car pretty usable. Somebody's mad at me because I won't let him outside. You want to go outside and get squirrels? Let's go. Squirrel! Squirrel! He's not going to be able to see them, and it's getting cold out there. Florida cold. Alright, let's let him do his thing. Go find him. Good luck seeing anything out there, though. Alright. Last thing is the seat, which appears to have been galvanized, is what the original finish was on the metal for the mounts. And that presents a bit of an issue with me because I was planning on laser cleaning that metal and powder coating it, but I don't know that's a good combination. Neither the laser, vaporizing the galvanized metal surface, and probably not either to put it into the powder coating oven. So I may have to actually sandblast it, which means I need to find somebody to sandblast it for me. But I just don't want to put rusty, it's very light surface rust, but I do not want to put rust on my new carpet. In the meantime, I've got some of that carpet protector stick down roll stuff that's on the way, and we're just going to completely cover all this because I've got wiring and other things that are going to be going on. I don't want my carpet to get ruined if I can avoid it. So Also, the back seat needs to be trimmed a little bit because with the carpet on here, it's, you know, a little bit wider than it was, and it was already a tight fit. So I'm going to cut another about an inch of width on the front and the back of that seat where the tunnel is, and that should let it sit down on there. So I think the next order of business is waiting for that stick down stuff to get here Saturday, and then I'll get that on the carpet to protect it, and then we're going to temporarily put the seat back in and use the car a little bit just to see how it sounds inside with the interior halfway together. And we've got not only the carpet, but we've got the insulation under the carpet now. But man, that compressor is so much louder. I don't have the back bolted down, so I think that may be part of the problem. But I can already see I'm going to want to mount that on some rubber, try to get that noise down a little bit, abate that a little bit. And I might also put some sort of piece of sound deadening foam or something along that back wall, because that's what the back seat in is that loud. I also have the rear deck piece that I need to put in that'll help with the sound a bit as well. Well, I think that's a good time to end. Always good to end the year on a high note when it comes to a project. It starts up and runs. I can drive it now if I had a seat. I could drive it without a seat if I wanted to. I'm pretty happy though, because I would like to kind of wrap up the heavy lifting part of this after all these years. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great 2026 and a safe ending of 2025. Hopefully I'll upload again soon. Catch you later.